morning to come before God of heaven and to worship him in spirit and in truth. God, that the Bible says, hold everything together by the word of his power. Give God thanks for his word. His word kept us together. Same word that says, let there be, and there was. Same word that called everything into being is the same word that causes us to move and to breathe and to have our very existence in him. That same word. So we give God thanks that we're able to come this morning to worship him in spirit and in truth. Meet me in the book of Hebrews. Hebrews chapter 12. Hebrews chapter 12. As you turn to the book of Hebrews, something I need to share with the congregation that will, after sharing this, will find some relevance and answer from God's word to that situation and also to the situation of our lives. I'd like for you to draw close and listen carefully, even to those who are visiting with us. Thank you for being here. And what I'm about to say is somewhat family business, but we want you, as Brother Butler said, invite you to be a part of this family. Want you to be aware that I am aware of the questions that are being asked from various members in regards to the installation, my installation, and the ordination of our future elders and deacons. Let me acknowledge, first of all, that is, of course, the responsibility of the evangelist of this church. Chapter 12, and specifically, verse 28. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 28 is the launching pad this morning. Now I chose this verse, as I said, but I believe, even before I said what I said, but I believe there's some relevance not only to speak to us as a church, but it will also speak to you in your life. And I pray that when you get up from here this morning, you can say, truly, it was good for us to be here in the house of God. Is that all right? Hebrews chapter 12. God wants us to know, therefore, northeast, and guess, since we are receiving a what? Kingdom that cannot be shaken, let us be thankful and so worship God acceptably with what? Reverence and awe. If you're looking, go back to verse 28. If you're looking for something to carry you through this week and for the rest of your life, especially since this week is considered to be Thanksgiving week, if you're looking for an anchor to help you deal with life's issues, if you're looking for an anchor as a spiritual body, God is saying to us, therefore, since we are, and we have already received a kingdom, the rule of God in our lives that cannot be what? Shaken. If you're looking for a topic this morning, it'll be shake that thing. But for those of you whose sanctimonious minds cannot handle that topic, I will want to say that you will want to look at the other topic, which is unshaken. And we want to look at whether it's shake that thing or unshaken. What God is saying to us is, whatever it is that you have in your life, I'm the type of God that when I come into your circumstances, I cause things to be shaken up. And what he's saying to us, if you missed anything I said this morning, what he's saying to us this morning is, since I shake things up, it makes sense that you shake that thing off of you. But also you need to know that because I'm the type of God that shake things up, you want to be a part of a kingdom, of an organism that is unshaken, that when Monday comes, when Tuesday comes, when Wednesday comes, that you can walk around being unshaken because you're shaking that thing off of you. Is that all right? So in the context, let me help you real quickly put this into context. What the Hebrew writer does is he's talking to the Hebrew Christians, and they, because their world is shaken up, because they're being persecuted, because they're going through some things in their life, they want to go back to what they used to do. You know anybody like that this morning? Anybody here this morning? I'm not talking to you because you're the choir. I'm preaching to the choir this morning. But for the choir members who are not here, there's some people who every now and again when life happens, we get frazzled, we lose our composure, and then we want to go back to where we used to be, because where we used to be is more comfortable than where we are right now, because God is stretching me. He's calling me to be what I need to be, but I don't like how it feels. Matter of fact, it looks like this, Sister Holloway. Go with me to verse 7. Look at verse 7. Verse 7 says, matter of fact, let's start from verse 4. It says, in your struggle against sin, you have not yet resisted to the point of shedding your what? Blood. And you have forgotten that that word of encouragement that addresses you as who? Sons. Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, you are a son. Now what that means is, I know some of you sisters are saying, no, I'm a female. In the context, when the Bible talks about sons, it's referring to not your gender, but your character. What that says is that, you know, parents, help me out with this. When your child does something well, and especially when they walk across the stage or they do a performance or they act right, you say, that's my son, or that's my daughter, that's my boy, that's my girl. They're not just your child. Because what you do is come on, parents, help me. Brother Brown, Sister Brown, help me now. When your child, but when they act up, you turn to your spouse and say, well, that's your child. Yeah. What God is saying to us is, number one, He wants all of us to know that we are His what? Sons. We're not only His children who have been born again, but we are His sons. Now, what that does is it gives us an expectation that is set. What God is saying is, I don't just want you to be born again, but I want you to live up to your new birth. I want you to act like you've been born again. Does you see that? But real quickly it says, my son, do not make light of the Lord's what? Discipline. And do not lose heart when He what? Rebukes you. Because the Lord disciplines those who He what? Loves. And He punishes everyone He accepts as a son. I don't know about you, but I don't like discipline. And I hated it when my mother would tell me why she was, whatever she grabbed, it wasn't always the belt. Whatever she grabbed, I hated when she would say that this hurts me more than it hurts you. And then two, what I hated was she's whooping me, and I'm crying, Corey, but she would tell me, stop crying, and the whooping got worse. And if I wasn't crying, she said, oh, you're not going to cry? Because she whooped me even harder. So how do I engage? Anyway, y'all don't know. Y'all didn't experience that. Nobody likes discipline. Right? But the text, God is saying to us, receive my discipline. Yeah. They got to see the picture. It's not, he says two things. He says, I will rebuke you, I will punish you. But the word discipline really means to train up. He's saying, let me train you up. Well, how does He do that? Look at verse 7. He says, endure what? Chastening or hardship as discipline. Yeah. What He's saying, the word endure is the same word as in James chapter 1 when it says that the testing of your faith produces patience. Right. It's the same Greek word, hupomene, which means to stay up under. Right. In other words, He's saying, stay up under the pressure. Northeast, we're looking forward to change. We're anticipating what the Lord is going to do. He's healing. He's bringing healing not only to our preacher, but to us as a congregation. But we got to stay up under the what? The pressure. So in other words, He's saying, don't give up hope. Don't leave. Don't say, I'm going to go to another church. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But rather, He's saying, stay in the family and get to work. What that looks like is, I don't know how many of you like, anybody ever play tug of war? Yeah. Y'all remember tug of war? Right. right? I hated being in the front of the line, right? Because all the pressure is on the person in the front of the line, isn't it? Right? And then I've learned how to play tug of war, Corey, because I've learned you can't just hold the rope. If you hold the rope and the other team is stronger and they get an advantage, they'll pull and the rope will, you get what? Rope burn. You get burn your hand. So I've learned when I play tug of war, you have to wrap the rope around your hand. Y'all feel me? And then you gotta get your feet gotta be dug into the ground. You gotta get your stance. And then you gotta pull. Then you gotta help the person in the front because they're gonna get weak at some point. We gotta dig our foot. What I learned to do, I like to get the back. I like to bark orders. So I'm like, dig, step, dig, pull. And that's how I do it. Y'all think I'm crazy, right? Well, you got to see because you say you got to endure discipline. I'm going to show you why later because if sometimes we become enmeshed. The word enmeshed used in therapy means that sometimes in a family system or in a spiritual system, in your work environment, when life happens, when the person you look to is ill or something happens to them, because we're so enmeshed, we don't have our individuality. Right. When that person falls or when that person is sick, when the president did what he did, when Clinton did what he did, the country fell apart. You remember? It happens, right? But healthy family systems, healthy systems look like where when life is squeezing you, life is pulling at you, life is doing everything to you, a healthy family system, whether it's spiritual or physical, learns to adapt to the situation. Right. Healthy looks like, I don't like this, it hurts, but let's adjust. Yeah. Does that make sense? Right. We're gonna dig our heel into it, we're gonna lean back, wrap that rope around, I'm gonna what? Pull. Let's what? Pull. Let's put our back into it and like, pull. We're gonna work as a church and pull. Because the Lord will do what he does. And so we can't give no, watch this. Why is that important? Look at verses 12 and 13 real quickly. There's too much in this text for me to preach this morning, but look at verses 12 and 13. It says, therefore, strengthen your what? Feeble arms, our hands, and weak what? Knees. Every now and again, your knees will wobble. Every now and again, you get weak. You get tired of pulling. And you want to tell the person in front, man, if you don't man up and pull that thing. Yeah, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, I'm tired of pulling back here. I'm pulling and you just keep going over the line. No, pull. Leave it to. Every now and again, you get tired. You get weak, but you can't afford that because we're all in this together, whether it's your physical family or your spiritual family. We have to appreciate that we are part of a kingdom that doesn't shake. So that's the case. What God is saying is, when we're in this together, you can't be shaken at the knees. You can't be. If you do, you got, he says, strengthen your feeble arms. And those weak knees, well, look what he says. Why? Why? He says, when you do that, you will make what? Level paths for your what? Feet. Now, you know, I was never good at track and field. I'm asthmatic. I could probably do a sprint and then just follow them down. Right? Matter of fact, Jamaicans are known more for what? Sprinting. Right? I don't know why. Right? But you say both. That's the man. I could give you a quick sprint. I could go, but with my weak lungs, if I want to go any further, I need a puff real quick. My asthma puff. Right? You know what I'm talking about? Right? I need some extra help. But look what he said. He said, if you strengthen, if my lungs are strong, and my knees are strong, and my hands are strong, when I'm running, when I'm walking this race, I will beat out the path. I will make my path what? Level. Why? So that the what? Lane. See, there are some brothers who are coming behind me who are limping. Limp. Come on. So I'm running and he's limping. He missed his calling. Right? But what's the picture? Now, even though when I strengthen myself, I'm doing it not just for me, I'm doing it for him. Because see, tied to me. We are connected to the blood, but I got to appreciate I'm not just doing it for myself. So while I'm making the level pass, I'm leveling the field, I'm going, I'm running, I'm walking this walk, I'm working, I'm leaning into it. I need to consider my brother who may be weak. So I'm doing this for us. And we're doing this together. Y'all see this? Yeah. Thank you for living with me, brother. But Brother Case, how do I do that? How do I get to the point where I strengthen? I don't like the discipline. I don't like the pain. But you just told me from the word that God is using the discipline to make me a better man. Y'all follow me? Right? A better woman, a stronger youth. I don't like it, but God is using life circumstances to test me. And sometimes I'll limp because while I'm running, my hamstring gives up. While I'm going, I need some potassium. I need some Gatorade. Y'all feel what I'm saying? But even then, while I'm limping, somebody else is running past me, but they're making it right for me. How do I get to the point where I'm strong? Now, you got to see the picture real quick. What the Hebrew writer does is he gives a contrast between the old and the new. He says to the Hebrew church, you used to be Jews, but now you're Christians. And because the run is getting too much and you don't want to keep walking because now you're limping or you're being pressured, you want to go back to what you used to do. You want to go back to the old law. So what he does is he says, remember when the children of Israel came out of the promised land and they got to Mount Sinai, and when they got to Mount Sinai, it was shaking because the presence of God came down up on the mountain. It got dark and there was an earthquake. Y'all remember that? Matter of fact, let's read it real quick. Y'all looking like I'm crazy. Right? Look at verse 18. Verse 18. Hebrews 12, verse 18. Y'all all right? He says, you have not come to a mountain that can be touched, that is burning with fire, to darkness, gloom, and storm, to a trumpet blast, or to such a voice speaking words that those who heard it begged that no further word be spoken to them. So he goes back to the book of Exodus chapter 19 when the children of Israel comes to the Mount Sinai and God takes them out of bondage, brings them to the mountain so he could give them his law, but for them it was scary. Let me say this to you, that when God comes in your presence, when God invades, God will shake things up and it will look scary. But what he does is he's saying, but you're trying to go back to that, to the physical. Well, why don't I want to go back to that, Brother Case? Watch this, look what he says. He says, look at verse 5. Listen to my, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing. He says, not verse 5, where did I stop? Verse 19. To a trumpet blast, or to such a voice speaking, no further words be spoken to them. He says, because they could not bear what was commanded, even if an animal touches the mountain, it must be what? Stoned. The sight was so terrifying that even Moses said, I am trembling with what? Fear. But he said, you didn't come to that. Right. When you come to this kingdom, when you come to Northeast, when you come into this spiritual kingdom, you don't come to things that make you feel dark and gloomy, but sometimes even the dark and gloomy seems right to us because we're so comfortable with it. Right. The Hebrew writer says, life gets hard, but stop running. That's right. Life gets difficult, but stop going back to what is shaken and dark and gloomy. He said, but when we come, what do we come to? I love this. He said, but you have come to Mount Zion, to the heavenly what? Jerusalem, the city of the living God. You have come to thousands upon thousands of angels in joyful assembly, to the church of the firstborn, whose names are written in heaven. You have come to God, the judge of all men, to spirits of righteous men made what? Perfect. To Jesus, the mediator of what? New covenant, and to the sprinkled blood that speaks a better word than the blood of Abel. Brother Chris, what in heaven's name is a point that Jesus is better. Right. Jesus is better than your boo. He is better than the bottle. He's better than a puff puff pass. He is better than the money in your account. He's better than your spouse. He's better than your children. He is better than the rags you have on your body. He is better than your family. Jesus, what he was telling them in the book was Jesus is better than Moses. He's better than a mountain. And he's better than your rituals. It's the same thing for us. Jesus is better than anything you could put up against him. He's better than me, and he's better than you. So what he's saying, stop running, but strengthen up those arms. Yeah, shake off the weakness in your knees and get ready because Monday is coming. Life is going to happen. You can't afford to sit down and be feeble. We can't afford to let the devil win. We are a church of people of promise. And what he's saying is Jesus brings something what? New. Y'all see this? Y'all like new, don't you? I love new. Okay, I like a new smell, but after a while, when you get used to it, you just toss to the side. Well, the beautiful thing about this is with God, morning by morning, new mercies I see. Great is his faithfulness. God's new never runs out. You got to go to the car wash, get your car washed, get it detailed, get it clean. They ask you what fragrance you want. You got to spray it in. By the time you drive on the road, the fragrance is what? Gone. Yeah, but with God, morning by morning, what? New mercies I see. New fragrances of blessings. New fragrances of mercy. New fragrances of promise that encourages me on my journey. Anyway, I'm on a tangent right now. Forgive me for that. Y'all all right this morning? All right, I'm trying to take my seat, but y'all won't stop. So he says this. Since Jesus gives a better thing, look at verse 25. It says, see to it that you do not refuse him who speaks if they did not escape when they refuse him, who warned them on earth, how much less will we if we turn away from him, who warns us from where? Heaven. At that time, his voice what? Shook the earth. But now he has what? Promised. Once more, I will what? Shake not only the earth, but also the heavens. The words once more indicate the removing of what can be what? Shaken. That is created things. Don't miss that, church. So that what cannot be shaken may remain. In other words, we have a kingdom. We have a place, a rule of God, that when God comes into a situation, he will shake things up. It looks like this. How many of you remember the last earthquake we experienced? Yeah. The last one I remembered, my wife and I were in the apartment. And I'm cool, calm, and collected. Because if you are from Jamaica, from the islands, you know, I'm used to, we have earthquakes, ever so often. So I'm used to the earthquakes. I know in Oklahoma, you're used to what? Tornadoes. So now we have tornadoes happening, and then now we have earthquakes. It just messes your life up, doesn't it? Right? You just don't know what to do. But I'm used to it, so I remember the last time the earthquake came, we were both in the apartment, and I'm cool, and she's like, I'm like, baby, it's all right. Just get somewhere where you could be safe. Because I know in an earthquake in Jamaica, we know you get under the door jam. Because even if the building comes down, that's the most likely place that is safe. Under the door jam, you just stay right up under that door jam. Or you get under a table, a firm table that can take the rubbles and the stuff falling on top of it. My point is that when you and I put our faith in Jesus, and we trust him, that when the earthquake of life comes, or when God decides to shake things up, you won't be, and baby, I know I'm going to talk after this, you won't be like Sister Case and your eyes will be ugly, you won't like, baby, what's that? You know, you be like, you be, Lord, what's happening? You be like, you just stay under the covering of Jesus. Yeah. You stay in the door. He said, I am the door. I am the way. So you stay under the door, that even though things are crumbling around you, your roof is falling, you have a protection. Or you want to get under something from the Bible says that he is like a mother hen that gathers his chicken, his little chick, under his arm. He covers us. Get under his protection. And stop trying to do life by yourself. But as I hasten to my seat, I want to leave with two things. Number one, for you to do that, you got to, number one, keep looking and keep listening. Yes. You got to keep what? Looking and keep listening. In verse 1 of chapter 12, y'all all right? Yes. In verse 1 of chapter 12, for you to stay up under, for you to strengthen your arms and strengthen those weak knees. Look at verse 1. In chapter 11, he just finished telling them that, hey, we have these great heroes of faith who have ran the race, who have stuck to it, who didn't even get what we have today. That's what he's saying to them. Right. And he goes through the list. Father Abraham, Isaac, he went through Esau, Jacob, went through Abel, went through all these great, the hallway of faith. Right. Yeah. When he gets to verse 1, he says, therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of what? Witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. In other words, he uses the picture of an Olympian. He said, if you're going to run, you can't have any, how many of you think you can run a 100-yard dash or anything in a suit? Right. Can you do it with what you're wearing right now? And y'all, do you think you could do a marathon in what you're wearing right now? So, right? Not successfully. Probably took you 12 days and 12 years, right? But he says, cast off the things that will burden you down. Stop holding on to the past. Stop holding on to malice. Stop holding on to yesterday and live in today. Stop trying to fix other people and let God fix you. Focus on your own place. Yeah, you with your own issue. Stop trying to talk about other people and talk about yourself every now and then. Yeah, on your knees. Shake it off. Yeah, shake that thing. Yeah, get it off of you. Take that ugly off of you. That nasty off of you. So you can run the race so your knees won't be weak and your arms won't be weak. It gets better. Here's the part we struggle with. Look at verse 2. Right. Let us fix our eyes on Jesus. Some of your Bible says, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning his shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Now, Brother Keith, I got a problem with that. How many of you have a problem with that? I do. You know why? Matter of fact, let me show you even more. It gets worse. Go back to that verse where it says, look at verse 25 real quickly. Look at verse 25. Y'all follow me? Yes. See to it that you do not refuse him who what? Speaks. If they did not escape when they refused him who warned them on earth, how much less will we if we turn away from him who warns us from where? Heaven. So Jesus is in heaven talking to us. So you want me to listen to him, and you want me to look to him, but sharp, I can't see him. Right. So I know I got to cast off this thing. I got to shake this thing off of me and get rid of this sin that trips me up every week. I go through life. I'm trying to run. I know Brother Casey just told me I'm a part of a kingdom that's unshaken, but I get shaken up because I can't see Jesus. I need help with that. Come on. Well, let me introduce to you a gentleman that can help us. His name is Lexi Gillette. What's his name? Lexi Gillette. Lexi, when he was 8, became blind. Come on. And his mother made sure that he got involved in things that he could live a normal life, that his blindness would not be a disadvantage for him. Y'all following the story?
Yeah.
Right. This is a true story. She put him in public school, but he was what? Blind. She made sure he got involved in sports, but he was what? Blind. And to the point where there was a coach, when she put him in the special program that allowed for those who are blind and have other challenges to take part in sports, there was a coach that took a liking to him, Brother Butler, and that coach would train him. And he trained him since he was 8 to the point where in this year, 2016, he made his way to the Olympics in Brazil. And he took part in the Paralympics.
Right.
And you know what's so beautiful? That when he took part in it, Lexi broke the world record. You want to know what for? And how he did it? Do y'all want to know?
Yeah.
He broke the world record in long jump. But he's what? Blind. But he broke the record in what? Blind. But the brother is blind. Matter of fact, his motto is, you don't need sight when you have vision.
Oh, yeah.
He breaks the world record because he's blind. But he doesn't need sight. He has what? Vision. So what will happen is this coach, David, help me real quick. David, Sean, just stand right where you are. Just step up to the side. Stand right where you are. I'm Lexi. I'm blind.
Right.
His coach will walk him all the way to the starting point. Y'all follow the story?
Yes.
And his coach will position him in the way he ought to be.
Yes.
That when the starting gun is fired, Lexi will take off.
Yeah.
Bam! The gun goes off.
Yes.
But while the crowd is cheering, can you hear the crowd?
Yeah.
And the people are cheering him on. Because it's a wondrous moment to see somebody with a disadvantage partaking in such a glorious moment, and you want him to win. Don't you want him to win?
Yeah.
So you got to see him with all his muscles tense, his power. He's ready. The gun goes off. Bam! And he runs. But in all the noise, his coach. He's running. And all he can hear is his coach clapping. And he gets faster. His coach is clapping to pick up his speed. And while he's doing, his coach then says, jump. And he jumps, and he stretches, and he goes, and he goes, and he gets right there. And he breaks the world record. What's the point, Brother Case? We can't see how to walk this walk.
That's right.
We don't walk by sight.
That's right.
We walk by faith. And what God does is he positions us. And so though verse 1 tells us that we have this great cloud of witnesses who have ran this race and they're cheering us on. Go Nate, go Chrisman, go Sister Miles. Moses is clapping. Abraham is clapping. When we get to verse 18, it tells us that we also have these angels around us. These innumerable angels. Hold on. We have the great cloud of witnesses. We have the angels standing up and singing and applauding us. But nothing means more than while you're running this race is to listen to the one that positioned you. Lord, I can't see where I'm going. Lord, I'm squeezed. I know you put me in the stand, but I don't like it. I prefer being this way. Lord, I don't like what I'm in. I don't like what you're calling me to. But he put me right here, and and everybody's cheering me on. Yeah. But every now and again, church, matter of fact, not every now and again, every day. Now, while you can hear voices, you can hear clapping, you can hear people cheering you on, what we ought to be focusing on, looking to, and listening to is Jesus. The author and finisher of our faith. So while I'm going, I'm listening for Jesus. I can't hear you, Jesus. I'm listening, Lord. Oh, I can hear you, Lord. I'm coming to work. I'm stumbling, Father, but I'm coming. And he says, jump. Shaking up. Listen to it. You're walking around brokenhearted. Stop. You've been shaken by life. You and I are part of a team that never loses. That's right. But Christian, you don't know what I'm dealing with. No, you don't hear me. You are part of a team that what? Never loses. And Jesus is standing and waiting for you. He's doing this. Will you listen to him? Come to him. And let him embrace you. You could be a part. You could start your day right now knowing that I could shake that thing. Because I'm a part of the kingdom that's not shaking. If that's what you want, don't leave here. Don't leave here lying to yourself. That's it. Don't leave here walking around trying to see. You and I have never been on this path before. Stop trying to do it your way. And let Jesus guide you. It's a difficult path. It's not easy. We got work to do, church. Yes. And you have work to do in your family. Oh, yes. You have work to do with yourself. Yes. Stop talking about people. Get off that phone. Get off of Facebook. Get off of whatever you are. Get off of that stuff. Shake that stuff. Some of the stuff you're doing is basically taking. You don't need to do. You don't need to take it because you can't let the devil shake you up. Let God put you firm. And when He places you, when God places you, the Bible says that we will be like a tree planted by rivers of water. That even when the drought season comes, listen, Jeremiah 7, go and read it. That even when the drought comes, Sister Carrie, your leaves will be green in the drought. And your leaves will never wither. That's right. And you'll bring forth fruit in your season. Right. If you keep running and keep moving, you'll never be that, but be like a stubble that's being blown in the wind and being carried to and fro. The sermon is yours. I stand.